style is so much more than just the clothes that we wear. It's a representation of who we are. It can help us lift our mood and also achieve our goals faster. But sometimes we can subconsciously sabotage our style, and if we look even deeper, life. And that's exactly what I want to talk about in this video, the 5 toxic habits that are holding us back from looking and feeling our best. And not to be too depressing, of course, I'm also gonna give you practical solutions for each and every habit. I'm gonna start with a really common one that I think most people have. I had it too, and that is that we're saving our best clothes for special occasion or for special day. And I think for me personally, where this came from is when I was younger and I was a kid, I was playing outside and inside a lot. And we know kids, they get dirty in a second, and I was no exception. So obviously I heard from my parents that I should save my best pieces for special occasion, and for every day I should just wear whatever is in my closet. So that's where I got this belief. But then, because I was not mindful about it, I was not careful, I took it with me into my adult life, and all of a sudden I started subconsciously restricting myself. So when I was getting dressed in the morning, I was reaching for those old items first, for those stretched out items, washed out items first, because I have to use them up, and then my good pieces I'm gonna wear where something really special happens. Also a note here that when I'm talking about these best pieces, I'm not just talking about the fancy pieces that we're saving for special occasion, but also just the more expensive items that we have in our wardrobe, or better duplicates that we have in our wardrobe. For example, I remember that I obviously had lots of duplicates before I decluttered my closet. So for example, I had a couple of white t-shirts. One was a little bit older, a little bit stained, a little bit more yellow, and the other one was brand new, crisp, pristine pretty much. And when I was getting dressed in the morning, I always reach for the older version, because in my head I have to kind of use it up, even though I didn't feel good when I put it on. And I think with clothes it's very hard to objectively know when you kind of used it up, because with a lipstick, for example, once you finish the tube, you know you're done. But with a t-shirt, how do you know that you used it up, that you got the most value out of it? Because in my experience, you can keep postponing wearing it. Even if it gets more yellow, more stained, more stretched out, you can keep postponing, you can keep wearing it. And then, like I said, unintentionally, you're just wearing your worst items in your closet, while your best ones are just sitting there unused. And also, if you go a little bit deeper and think about this for a second, what kind of message are we sending to ourselves every single day when we're getting ready? Because I remember when I opened the closet, I had a thought, oh, today it's not special enough. I like this top, but yeah, I have nowhere special to go. So I'm just gonna wear something that I wasn't excited about. And then days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months, months turned into years, and then years turned into lifetime of restriction and not feeling our best. And now what I believe is that every day is special, because the fact that we're even here, it's a miracle. The chances are so slim. And then the second thing is that we're not gonna be here forever. So I personally now believe that every day should be a celebration. Every day is special. So we should obviously look and feel our best. And also here, I want to quickly emphasize before I give you the solution, I want to emphasize that, of course, we want to be appropriate for the situation. When I'm talking about dress your best, I'm not talking about dress to the nines, even when it's not appropriate, but you want to dress your best for the occasion. So if you're working out, instead of the old stretched out t-shirt that you don't feel great in, have a cute little workout set. Or if you're working from home, obviously you don't have to be dressed up to the nines, but just have something that it's really comfortable and stylish at the same time, something that you feel great in. Maybe you're party at the top and then relaxed at the bottom, something that is very comfortable. So obviously we want to think about the circumstances and the occasions, but always look your best for the occasion is my message. And now, as promised, let's talk about practical solutions. The first one that I have is my favorite, because I just love decluttering so much, and that is to go into your closet and declutter anything that doesn't bring you joy, anything that when you put the item on, you don't feel your best in, because this is where everything changed for me. Once I decluttered these old pieces that just made me feel awful, then all that I was left with was this gorgeous item, so I had no choice but to dress my best every single day. So here we're talking about decluttering anything that doesn't resonate with you, that when you put it on, it doesn't feel like you don't feel your best in it, and you let it go. So everything you're left with is something that feels like you. And the second solution is when it comes to shopping, and that is from now on, I want to encourage you to spend more money on items that you actually wear, because usually, again, this is the habit that I picked up. We were told to spend more money on special occasion items. If we were invited to a wedding or we had special parties, something really unique going on, we kind of had the permission to go a little bit overboard, to spend a little bit more money on that dress. But then what happened is that we only wore it once or maybe 2 times if we're lucky. And then on the other hand, when we're buying something like jeans, for example, we're encouraged to save money because, oh, you're gonna wear this a lot, they're gonna get dirty, you're gonna wash them a lot, they're gonna get used up. So it's kind of backwards, because if you look your cost per wear, for example, if the dress was 150 euro, which I know it's a low number for a special occasion dress, but just let's say that's the number, and you wear it 2 times, you spend 75 euro per wear for this dress. So it's not really the best use of our money. But if we spend 150 euros on a pair of jeans, which you can get really high quality jeans for that price, and you wear them, let's say 200 times, you're gonna spend less than euro per wear. I think more accurately 75 cents per wear. So that is so much better use of our money, and that's how I'm shopping from now on, especially because a lot of special occasion dresses and pieces you can find for really affordable prices. So when I'm shopping now, I always think about cost per wear, how much I'm gonna wear this item, and if I know I'm gonna wear it loads and loads and loads and loads, I allow myself to spend a little bit more money on there, but also I'm mindful that these items that are expensive are gonna be also easy to wash, easy to maintain, so I can get that longevity. Because in the past I made a mistake, and sometimes I bought really fancy pieces that I thought I'm gonna wear a lot, they were expensive, but then because they were so hard to take care of, the materials were wrong, I kind of didn't get the use of my money. So of course you want to think about how much you're gonna wear this item, and also think about the materials and if you can get that durability and longevity. Okay, I feel this was really long but really important to talk about, so I hope you enjoyed it. But now we can go into the second point, and this one again goes a little bit deeper. It doesn't just affect our style but also our life, and that is postponing happiness, or thinking I will put the effort in once ... You can feel this with anything. Once I lose the weight, once I get a boyfriend, once I have more money, once I change the job, once I move somewhere else. You can just keep thinking about this and postponing your happiness. And also this may seem very similar to the first point, but it's actually different, because in the first point, we're still dressing up every single day. We're still putting effort into our outfit. We're just subconsciously picking the worst pieces in our closet. But in this point, we're actually not putting the effort in the first place, because we think right now we don't deserve it, because something in our life is not as it's supposed to be. So we're not gonna put the effort in until circumstances change. This usually stems from perfectionism, which I know too much about, because back in the day I used to be a huge perfectionist, which is a very bad thing. I'm not suggesting it to anyone. And what I learned throughout the years is that when we're striving for perfection is because we're afraid of experiencing pain of rejection and criticism. So we feel we're not going to be able to tolerate that pain. So we wrongly assume that, okay, if we are perfect, then nobody can say anything, nobody can criticize us, nobody can reject us because we're perfect. And because being perfect is impossible, we put so much pressure on ourselves that we kind of paralyze ourselves. And we cannot even put the effort in, because we feel like, okay, I'm so far from that perfect image, from that fantasy version. And even if I put the effort in, if 100% is the goal that I'm gonna be free from rejection, even if I'm at 80%, it's still not good enough. So we're not gonna try until we feel we're gonna be at 100%. Okay, so what can we do here? The first thing you can do is go into your closet and reorganize it in a way that supports your current self, so your current body and your current lifestyle. Because usually with perfectionism, it's quite possible you have closet full of items for your fantasy perfect version that doesn't exist. So you pretty much have a closet that reinforces the idea that you're not good enough the way you are right now. So if you open the closet and your closet is saying, look how many pieces are here for you once you have a different life, you're gonna feel awful, you're gonna feel bad, and it makes sense why in this situation we just want to close the closet and then wear our leggings instead. So that's why you want to reorganize your closet in a way that when you open it, your closet makes sense for you right now. So all of those pieces that speak to that fantasy perfect version of yourself, you want to take them out, you want to put them in a box somewhere out of your closet so you can have some breathing space. And then with this closet, you can wait for 3, 6, or even 12 months before you can go into it again and then decide what you want to do with it. But first, I want you to experience how your closet feels without this perfect fantasy items screaming at you that you have to be better. Also, because I got this question a lot in the past, I want to quickly answer what is the difference between the fantasy perfect version of yourself and also the aspirational version of yourself, because sometimes people think this is the same thing. And when I say, oh, go and declutter your fantasy perfect version of yourself, they mean I'm talking about aspirational self, but there is a difference. So it's very simple actually. The perfect fantasy version of yourself is something you constructed in your mind in order to protect yourself from pain of criticism and rejection. So it's not something you genuinely want to become, but it's something you believe if you become, you're gonna be free from pain. But then on the other hand, the aspirational version of yourself is something that you truly want to become for yourself, because obviously we want to grow in life, we want to learn, we want to improve, and the aspirational version of ourselves is something that we believe it's going to make us happier, our life is going to be improved if we achieve that, and it's not really connected that much to other people and that, you know, fear of rejection and protection. So that's something that I want you to keep in mind. And of course, sometimes even aspirational items can feel just a little bit out of touch with reality. So in those situations, again, you can store them somewhere else so your closet doesn't make you feel bad. But when it comes to fantasy version of items, those are just really unnecessary and they create unnecessary pressure, and we just want to completely let them go. And then the second solution is to go even further and to physically declutter all of these fantasy items. Like I said, usually this is very hard to do. That's why I gave you another option instead. But if you feel powerful enough to do that, you feel inspired to do that, that's something that I recommend. Like I said, again, you want to think about the difference between aspirational and fantasy version of yourself, but once you know that difference, go for it. We went a little bit deeper with these first 2 habits, so I hope you don't mind that I took my time with them. We still have 3 more to go, like I said, but before I do, I also want to remind you that if this video is helpful so far and you're enjoying it, that you give this video a thumbs up, because it really helps me out and I really appreciate it. And also, if you've come this far, leave a nice heart emoji down below so I can know. And now let's continue with toxic habit number 3, that again, not only applies to our style, but also to our life. And that is worrying what other people think about us. And of course, I think to a certain degree, this is absolutely normal. We want to be loved and liked by our family, our friends, by people that we like and we vetted. But I think it becomes a problem when we start abandoning our true self, our true nature, in order to be liked and loved, which it's a whole topic, it's a deep topic that I'm not gonna cover. Today I wanna talk more about the style aspect of this mindset. Again, this is something that I used to believe in. With all of these 5 habits, I used to have them. That's why I'm making this video, because I know how limited I was and how much joy I was lacking in my life. So I wanted to share my experience and my solution in case you're kind of in the same boat. But pretty much I used to obsess with what other people thought about me, which when I look back, I just feel so sorry for my younger self, especially when I was a teenager. But how I got around this is by tuning in with myself, especially when I read the book from Robin Sharma. And in there, he talked about that we all have internal GPS and that the joy is our compass that we should always follow. When I read that, it imprinted into my head, and ever since that, I cannot forget it and I always keep it in mind. And that's exactly what I want to share with you today. When you're getting dressed, listen to yourself, listen to your inner joy. And as silly as all of this sounds, it's actually very, very common. I've heard so many people, they are judging what other people are wearing. And I honestly don't get it. If the other person puts the effort in and they feel their best, they feel confident, where's the issue? I don't really see it. Yes, I understand sometimes we can go through a depressed period and people, friends and family are encouraging us to dress up so we can feel better, or we're not dressed appropriately for a situation and then we kind of get a little bit feedback. I understand those separate situations, but for every day Why are people judging us? I have no idea. So my practical solution here is to find your north when it comes to style so you can follow it. And how most people do it successfully and how I used to do it in the past is by using 3 style words. There are a lot of videos on this topic, but pretty much in a nutshell, what you want to do is you want to assess how you want to feel when you put the outfit together. Maybe you want to feel cool, maybe you want to feel edgy, maybe you want to feel feminine, maybe you want to feel cute, maybe you want to feel approachable, you want to feel playful, maybe youthful. You just find 3 words that feel most like you, and then you use that as your inner GPS. And when other people say dress like this, dress like that, you're like, no, 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 I have my own GPS. And now to the next toxic habit that again is so prevalent that it really annoys me, and that is believing I am vain if I care about the way I look. I don't know about you, but I personally always love fashion. So when I was growing up, I always put a little bit extra effort into my outfit. And because of that, a lot of people commented on my outfits and they said things like, why do you care so much? Why are you putting so much effort into your outfit? You're not going anywhere special. That word again. Or even with my sporty stuff, I used to train a lot when I was younger. So I was in my sports stuff all of the time. And I made sure I had cute sports stuff, and I also had, I remember I had cute pearl earrings that I only wore when training. And because of that, people said, why can you never relax? Why you're dressing even in your sporty stuff? And I never understood why they were saying this to me, and I felt, because I was still young and impressionable, I thought something's wrong with me. But luckily I'm here to tell you that no, I'm not vain, you're not vain, we're not vain for caring how we look, and I'm gonna tell you why. First, I realized that yes, there is a difference between being too concerned with how we look and then dressing our best, because those are not the same. The first one is coming from a place of insecurity and feeling like we're not good enough, and the second one is just wanting to dress our best so we can enjoy whatever we're doing that day. Because when we dress from insecurity, we might start doing things that actually have a negative impact on our life. For example, let's say you're going to the beach with your friends and you feel insecure about your face or something, and then you put loads of makeup on, you do your hair, and when everyone is swimming and running around, you're just there concerned, you don't want to go swimming because you don't want to ruin everything, and you're not really present in that moment, you're not really enjoying the experience. Or if I give you my personal example, I used to wear high heels everywhere all of the time, not only 10 centimeters, 11, 12, 13 centimeters heels into sport events, which is insane. And now when I think back of those memories, the reason I remember them is because I had so much trouble walking around. I don't remember other details, but just how hard it was to walk. So in those situations, obviously I wasn't adding to my life, but I was taking away from it. But on the other side, for example, if me and my husband went on a walk next to the beach and I wore a cute summer dress with cute sandals, my life was enhanced. I didn't feel worse, I felt better, and that's the whole point. We have to understand why we're dressing the way we're dressing, to enhance our life or to cover our insecurities. And now the 5th toxic mindset that we can have is believing that being stylish equals being uncomfortable. And with this one, I'm gonna put my sister on a spot here because yeah, I have a nice little story, and also she gave me her permission, but pretty much for the longest time, she believed that the only way she can feel comfortable is in her sports stuff. And I kept pushing back on that. I'm like, no, you can feel cute and feminine and stylish and also comfortable. And she was like, no, 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 I don't want to hear it. So we kind of went back and forth for a while, and that is until we went shopping together. And then I was like, okay, I have a mission, I have a plan, and together we found some amazing pieces for her wardrobe that make her feel feminine and cute and stylish, but she's also very, very comfortable. And of course, I'm gonna explain you in detail how we got there, how we bridged the gap. But with this story, I just wanted to first emphasize that there is always, always, always an overlap between style and comfort. You just have to find it and not give up. But now, like I said, let me share the approach that we use that you can use for yourself as well. First thing that you want to do is you want to go into your wardrobe if you have loads of uncomfortable pieces, and you want to identify them. So with my sister, for example, we identified that she has loads of skinny jeans that she doesn't feel comfortable in. They're too rigid, they are too restrictive, they're too figure hugging. So we made a clear note of that. And then for my life, I remember I used to have loads of high heels, and that's something that I made a note of. Okay, you have loads of high heels that are uncomfortable, and that is something that I wanted to change. So like I said, first you want to find uncomfortable pieces in your closet and identify why they are uncomfortable. And now step 2 is to ask yourself, what do you want to have in your closet instead? With my sister, like I said, skinny jeans were very tight and rigid. So what we discovered is that she wants to have something elastic, something very stretchy, something that it's not figure hugging, something that it's a little bit wider, a little bit looser. And for example, with my high heels, what I identified is that I want to be able to walk for a long time. I want to be able to have my shoes on for 6-8 hours without any issues. And I want to wear shoes that when I'm out and about, I don't have to think about my feet and how much they're hurting. And now that you have all of this information, step 3 is to ask yourself, what are the stylish options out there that check all of these boxes? So with my sister, okay, we want something elasticated, something that it's loose, something that it's comfortable. Okay, we started thinking about that, and what we came up with was a long maxi skirt that was elasticated, and then we also bought her, again, elasticated, high-waisted, long white pants that are very comfortable. She feels amazing in them. She wears them with sneakers, with cute tops in the winter, in the summer. So once we knew what we're looking for, we just started brainstorming on the stylish options out there, and she tried a couple of different things on, and when she found something that felt like her, we bought those. Or for my example, what I started doing is I started buying more flat shoes that are really stylish, like my leather over the knee boots. Or what I also have are summer sandals with a 6 centimeter heel, because a 6 centimeter heel for me is very comfortable. I can walk in those shoes the entire day without any issues. So I found my ideal heel height and I'm sticking to that. Now, if you enjoyed this video and you want to go even deeper to understand why and how you should dress your best every single day, then watch this video after this one. Thank you for stopping by today, and I will see you next time.